I like it.
I tried it too.
So we're doing a simulated get home, camp out kind of scenario. We've got a bunch of kids, we've got a bunch of adults.
Yeah.
Those were awesome. A camp out tonight and a walk home, which is going to be somewhere between 15 and 20 miles. And we're just going to try to see how we can manage that effectively and get everybody from point A to point B.
Uncle JJ?
You got shoes like me?
Yeah, look.
Shoot, those are cool. Not everybody in this crew is going to spend the night. Some of them are going to be going, but quite a few of us are. Some of the really little ones, those are going to be not spending the night with us, but they might be joining us on the walk. So we will see how that goes, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. Where do you want to find camp?
I need to talk.
I think so. Nice.
I'll try it.
Although.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I'll let you have my sword. Look.
I like that sword a lot.
Do you want to
It's a
hold
good
it?
looking sword.
You wanna...
So here's my camp for the evening. It's just a basic poncho shelter, which anybody that watches my channel knows that's what I sleep under 99% of the time. I've got an inflatable mattress, a lightweight sleeping bag inside of a SOL breathable bivy. Trying this out for the first time. I've never used one of these before, but I hear good things. So I think we'll be okay. The temperature is going to be around 40 degrees tonight, and it's going to rain. My bag is rated to, I think, 50 degrees. So my sleeping bag, in addition to the SOL bivy, I'm hoping will be good down to 40 degrees or even below. My son is going to be joining me for the night. My daughters, however, are not. They have opted out, but they're probably going to be doing the hike home with us. So I've got one of my kids camping out with me, and he's got everything he needs, and he's going to be carrying it home. We're going to be carrying it home with him. So,
You have two. Sage is staying the night.
Sage, my daughter Sage might be spending the night. Not sure yet. She is unprepared, doesn't have any gear with her.
Which is the
so
best
that
test.
might be another test. That might be another opportunity for us to learn. So you can't predict the weather when you do your get home situation. It is what it is, and sometimes you just have to endure the wind, and you have to pick. You have to pick the best of the worst decisions. So we're camped out here in the woods. We've looked around as best we can for widowmakers, dead trees, big branches that could potentially fall on us. But that doesn't have to be the case. It doesn't have to be a dead tree to fall on you. Everybody talks about that, talks about the widowmaker. The widowmaker could be the perfectly good-looking tree, this giant monster tree that's been there for 100,000 years. All right, maybe that's a little bit of exaggeration, 100 years. And it could be perfectly healthy and the wind can still blow it over. So there's only so much you can do to avoid things like that. But it is really, really windy. I think we're supposed to have gusts of 40 miles an hour plus. So that's substantial, and there's definitely going to be some stuff come down, but hopefully not on us. So not only a good protein source, but there's also quite a few reported medicinal benefits to eating termites, such as gastrointestinal issues. It's an antiviral. I've read that. No, I don't know that to be a fact, and I've never had any positive results in using it for that purpose, but do your own research.
What does it say?
A termite. What? You want to try it, Harley?
Yes.
Good job. All right.
That's good. Okay, I'm gonna try I like it.
I tried it too.
It tasted like coconut.
It did?
I like coconuts in my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting on my backpack.
Nice.
There you go. What we'll do, because everything is so wet,
Boing, boing, boing.
and see the little tails of duct tape right there? You're gonna try to light one of those.
Block the wind?
sit down again.
Well,
You lit the feather sticks. It might go. You didn't light the duct tape, but it might go.
I mean, I tried.
Well, the duct tape's a handy thing. No kidding. Right? People in the comments have been asking about family get home situations and stuff like that. Like, what do you do if you, you know, the lights go out, power goes out, cars come to a stop, and you've got your family with you. It's easy to do the individual lone wolf thing and walk home. That's no problem. But when you got your family, it's a little bit different. So just kind of what we're experimenting with on this trip. Man, I cannot see where I'm going. Is, you know, what does it take to do it with little ones?
Yeah.
Is it super camoed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is my son Eli's camp. Very similar to my setup, just a little simple poncho. He's got a bivy bag, a ground pad, sleeping bag, just the basics. Around his neck, we've just got a small little light right there from Wazoo, signal whistle,
And a tiny little
ceramic knife, little ceramic folder, and a ferro rod floating around somewhere. And the little ferro rod.
right there.
Good job. Good job setting your shelter up. It stayed really dry during that horrible storm.
Even this is dry.
Yeah, we had a big storm, lots of wind, lots of rain, and you stayed nice and
I
dry.
literally only hit this part. Oh, my
All right,
pants
Sage,
fell out.
Sage, what's going on under here? What do you have?
Definitely don't have
Did you
pants.
bring paints?
Yes.
Let me see. Let me see them.
No.
You brought a paint assortment.
Yeah,
Only the necessities.
I could see
And
it
your
in shadow.
and your leopard backpack.
She brought all these stuff.
So
The
Sage
bare
here,
necessities.
Sage wasn't planning on spending the night, but now suddenly she wanted to spend the night, and that means that she's completely unprepared with only what the nonsense she has in her backpack. So yeah, last minute plans of Sage spending the night with us, which I guess is, you know, a real life scenario. You're not always prepared for everyone in your group. You can only be so prepared. So I'm going to be sacrificing my sleeping bag for little Sage. And I'll just be sleeping in a SOL bivy bag. I was really looking forward to crawling in this and going to sleep tonight. Kids. Can't live with them. Can't throw them off a bridge. You can't let them freeze to death at night either, apparently.
Put everything in there. Are you sure? It's terrible before.
Look at this disaster
Yes.
they've got going on. It's chaos.
So bad.
So I've got a poofy down jacket and my extra clothes. This is going to be a wool cap, wool long johns top and bottom. So I wasn't planning on even wearing these tonight because I was going to be cozy in my sleeping bag. But now I'm going to go ahead and throw on pretty much all the clothes that I've got and hope for the best. Oh, the sky looks cool.
I wasn't concerned about it raining. I might take my tarp off. We're fine. Good morning. Decent sleep. Tossed and turned a bit. Didn't freeze. Well, stayed fairly warm. Had enough layers, thankfully, so stayed fairly warm. But now it's time to get going.
Sage, how did you sleep with my sleeping bag? Cozy, warm? Were your paint supplies handy, or?
Kids, this is why you do the look up, look down, look all around.
So this monster of a tree fell yesterday during the storm while we were away. We set up our camp and then went off to do some activities, and this giant thing fell really close to where we were camped out. Yikes. You'd be dead for sure if any part of that hit you. Just the beginning of our walk home. Not exactly sure. I'm plotting it on the GPS so we know how far we walk home once we get there. But it's probably going to be, I think, around the 15-mile mark. And we're just getting started. We're less than a mile in, I would say. Just going over basic navigation stuff with the kiddos. So now my map is pointing north. My compass is pointing north. And now I can figure out where I'm at. So this is my house. We are approximately right in this spot right here. Eventually, we're going to keep following this road until we get to the 4-lane, right? This big red line is the big highway, the big 4-lane. Follow these power lines and cut across and maybe save myself some miles by cutting across. It looks like this right here, this big wide open.
Your legs will get forced to move.
Yeah?
And it won't take away that much energy.
So lean forward is what you're saying?
Yeah, like lean all the way down and it'll force your legs
Show
to
me what you're
move.
talking about.
Literally just stopped.
Are you still drinking cocoa?
Yeah.
Who wants a little bit of pumpkin pie?
Me!
Freeze-dried pumpkin pie.
What do you mean sometimes?
It's seriously my #1 motivation on sunscreening them.
Is to not get in trouble with your wife.
I really want Carrie to like me.
Yeah, yeah.
To be happy with me.
Yeah, honestly, I care less about their well-being and more about not getting in trouble when I get home.
Yeah.
So all you schlubs out there that are not out trying this stuff out for yourselves, my little girl with a leopard print backpack and paint supplies, no camping gear whatsoever, just knocked it out. Wintertime, I guess is it spring yet? Almost spring? Springtime camp out. And a 15-mile hike.
Anybody runs out of water, I think I got a jug more than that.
Bonk, bonk.
Buckle it. Never watched this, could I?
1892. Oh,
They're on the tractor.
That one is behind the fence, and that one very creepy.
Hello, friend.
He was doing some.
Why do they all have little notches right there in their ears? I like to have.
Love to have a pet possum. Did you know that the opossum is the only North American marsupial? Little known fact. We are over halfway now. We've gone about 9 miles, I think, give or take. So we're gonna take a break here real shortly. Maybe take the shoes off, let them air out for a bit, change some socks possibly, get a drink of water, and then keep pushing. Everybody's doing really good. All the kids are doing really well, despite them walking in the middle of the road trying to get run over by cars. Hey girls, side of the road. But pretty quiet road, not a lot of traffic going on here. I'm trying out these new shoes. These are Zero shoes. They're waterproof, super nice. They're really, really light. But they have almost no support in them, and that's by design. It's not, that's not necessarily a negative thing, but for hiking with a pack, a heavier pack, you might want something with some more support. My feet are doing pretty good. My feet are not super pleasant feeling right now, but I don't think they would be regardless of the shoes that I'm wearing. So far, so good. Everybody put a hand on the gate. We're gonna open it together. We did 14 miles together because we're awesome. Ready, set, open the gate. Woo!
All right, guys.
All right, what did we learn? You can walk 15, 20 miles, give or take, with some kids, and I think you could do it with literally nothing. You could just get out of your broke down vehicle and start walking. You probably don't even need a water bottle. As long as you got some comfortable shoes, and depending on weather conditions, obviously, if it's a snowstorm and it's hailing, there's other things to be considered. But under general, somewhat semi-favorable weather conditions, you can just start walking and you're gonna make it. You may not be that happy, but you could do it. With kids, it's all about mindset. They're physically capable of doing so much more. But if they're mentally not there, if they're in a bad state of mind, it becomes much more difficult. And that's where, you know, having things such as snacks, having those handy to give them is really good for morale, because if you keep them positive, make it entertaining, make it fun, make it an adventure, that is where they're going to be totally fine. Not going to have any issues with that. One of the girls was 60 pounds. She weighed 60 pounds, and she was carrying roughly a 15-pound pack. I had to take it from her a couple times and give her a little bit of a break, but overall, she carried it the whole way without really any complaints whatsoever. My son was 80 pounds. He weighs about 80 pounds-ish, give or take. I'm not exactly sure. His pack was about the same, about 15 pounds. No problems. He carried his the entire way. I didn't have to take it from him. He was good to go. No worries. And he was even running towards the end of the trip. I mean, I saw him jogging down the road, you know, at mile 13, and he was just no problems whatsoever. And then they played on the trampoline when we got home. So there's that. So with kids, motivation's everything. Give them some snacks. Make sure they're well hydrated, cut comfortable shoes, and man, they can walk a long ways. If you have to stay overnight, you need very minimal gear. So let's say you've got to do, 15 miles, spend the night, another 15 miles, spend the night, another 15 miles. Let's say that's the scenario. Could we have done that? And I think yes, with the gear that we had, possibly you'd want some more foodstuffs so you could stay well fed and not get too hungry. But with the gear that we had, my pack and the other adult that was with us, the other adult male that was with us, had packs that weighed somewhere in the 25 to 30 pound range. And with that gear, with that equipment, we could feed ourselves and be comfortable overnight, regardless of weather. I was sore. I had, a little bit of soreness in my feet the next morning, when I had to get up and start moving again. But after getting up and moving, it was no problem. We actually did. The whole family went for another hike the next day and had no issues, no serious blisters, none of that stuff, nothing like that would keep us from doing it again the following day. So it's definitely possible. A little bit of soreness around where my waist belt was on the pack. Little bit of soreness there, like on my hips where it was riding. Nothing major, no bruising, none of that, no chafing, just a little bit of soreness, and other than that, it was good to go. People are gonna say, okay, but if conditions are bad and it's really a get home scenario, the world's gonna be chaotic, the cannibals are gonna be coming out, and kidnappers are gonna be everywhere. Okay, sure, and maybe you'd want to be staying off the roads and not taking the easy route like we did. Sure, if you had to stay off the roads and had to move at night, you're gonna be moving much slower. Progress is gonna be much slower, and it's gonna be really difficult with kids. I get that, but in most get home scenario situations, let's say. The EMP strikes and your car's broke down. If you start moving immediately, you're going to get home, if you're relatively close, you're going to get home before the world starts to go completely insane. At least that's my theory. So you can disagree if you'd like. But anyway, that's kind of some of the basics that we've learned. It was a really great experience, a really good learning experience for all of us, especially the kiddos. And I really do appreciate you watching. Make sure you leave in lots of comments, leave lots of questions. I'd be happy to answer all of them about this experience, and I cannot wait to see you on the next video.